C Street will soon be getting some upgrades. Town officials are looking for a homeless outreach coordinator, and we learn about how the Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority is preparing for an increase in the Cape's senior population. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Thursday, June 9th, 2016. I'm Sarah Mannel. C Street in Hyannis is home to many families, and it provides a vital link between Main Street and the ocean. The Department of Public Works is planning improvements, including lighting upgrades, new sidewalks, and more. A public forum is set for tonight that is designed to allow residents share input for the final design. You can share your thoughts. The meeting begins at 5 tonight in the Town Hall hearing room. The town of Barnstable is actively seeking a person to fill the role of homeless outreach coordinator. The grant-funded position will serve as a communication point between the town manager's office and local service agencies. It will also work to coordinate the town-wide provision for services that for people that are homeless, with the ultimate goal of helping to ease chronic homelessness. When you visit downtown Hyannis, whether it be to work, shop, dine, or play, you need a place to park. Barnstable's Growth Management Department is working on improving ways to park in our busy downtown area. Your input is key to finding solutions. You can visit townofbarnstable.us to take the parking survey and also watch video from the recent parking study open house that was held last month. The Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority held a press conference yesterday at the Hyannis Transportation Center. The Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority is planning for an increase in the Cape's senior population. CCRTA Administrator Tom Kerr says as a staff, they are working on several new initiatives to meet the need of the Cape's elder population.
We meet as a staff, twice a week to talk about ways to improve everything that we do, and nothing is inappropriate to raise and could be outside the box. But I've obviously been aware for some time that our significant senior population is growing and will continue to grow. So I want to make sure that transportation is adequately provided for these seniors to make, when they move here or they want their final destination to be convenient, that we're prepared for it. And we've got a great team that's committed to trying to make that happen.
Kerr says an important part of the effort will be to collaborate with the various councils on aging across the Cape.
This new, stronger collaboration with the councils on aging, I think, will be helpful. We already have a great relationship with them. We contract with them and provide vehicles with them, but I think their input, they're on the front lines every day, so their input on what senior needs are will educate us in terms of how the transportation efforts could be improved.
And Kerr says he is not yet concerned about funding for those senior initiatives.
We aggressively seek grants, as you can see from some of the vehicles here, that we've got grants for no operating costs. It's enhancing the partnerships we have with our transportation partners and looking at ways to create efficiencies to make things happen better. I've got such an incredible staff, particularly with the finances and the CFO, that he's identified ways that we can save and change the way we do certain things, and those savings can be poured back into making the service better for everybody else. And the senior effort, was something that's always been a priority. So I'm not too worried right now about resources, but we'll tackle that when we get to it.
The senior population has been growing for some time, and it's expected to continue to grow.
The median age on Cape Cod is over 50. I mean, that's pretty significant, where it's 39 in other parts of the Commonwealth. And we've all heard that for a long time. And it was that Cape Cod Times editorial that said, we got to start planning more aggressively. I'm proud of what we're doing, but if you're going to have more folks moving here and people aging here, some folks would like to come into Hyannis to have lunch and don't want to drive their car if they have a martini or something, So things like that, and also try to get cars off the road. That's why we're working with the trains and all the other stuff, Uber and Zip cars, trying to reduce the traffic on the Cape, because the roads were never built to accommodate the volumes they have to deal with, as you all know, but in the traffic sometimes. So the numbers are overwhelming. We're like the highest per capita aging region in anywhere on the eastern part of the United States, except for 9 or 10 counties in Florida. So that's pretty eye-opening, and we take that pretty seriously.
The Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority will also reach out to all 15 Cape towns to help achieve better services for seniors.
It's a forum for us to go out there and, okay, let's talk about what the needs are. Let's educate each other. We have a pretty good transportation acumen here in our office, and we can talk to them about stuff. And if they're having trouble getting drivers for whatever reason, whether they can afford them or insurance issues or whatever, we can talk to the town managers. Our advisory board is made up of a majority of town managers. So it's the whole idea of better communication and coordination between all of the entities. I always thought when I was in the State House and up in Boston that we had some real stars down here. You know, Dan Wolfe in Cape Air, Wayne Lampson over there, the Scudders. But I didn't think there was really adequate communication and collaboration. And when I got here, I created this multimodal committee. And we meet quarterly and we talk about just what can we do better to coordinate services. And that applies not only to just plain folks, but seniors as well. So we're really happy about this. We're happy that this kind of reception occurred today. A lot of people expressed interest. Of course, Kathy drags everybody here to make sure they get here. But I think it's productive and worthwhile, and we're going to make the Cape the best that we can possibly do for transportation.
CARE hopes a regional forum planned for the fall will also help improve services.
The towns come into play because their resources are provided by the various communities, and you know, towns are up against it with 2.5 sometimes, and some of their local financial challenges, so councils have to fight for their money as well. And the buses we provide, the contract requires they have to get the drivers, and that's sometimes a challenge for various towns. Some towns seem to do it a little bit better than others, I think, just my observation, and that's why I think sharing ideas at this summit we're going to conduct in the fall might be beneficial. But I mean, they all do a great job.
The Barnstable Senior Center recently conducted a senior needs assessment, and Director of Senior Services Madeline Noonan says that was a bit of a catalyst for local organizations to begin planning for an increase in the number of seniors on Cape Cod.
CCRTA, and particularly Tom, CARE, and Paula George, were our partners throughout this process. Tom actually mentioned to me that we sort of gave some catalyst for them to start really moving ahead after participating in our needs assessment visioning process to really focus more on senior transportation issues. I have to say, the Councils on Aging give the CCRTA a huge amount of credit for being our partners and providing transportation services locally, because we could not do this on our own without them. Tom mentioned that the vehicles that are leased to the Councils on Aging on the 15 towns on the Cape, they are basically provided to us at no cost, which saves the towns a huge expense that we don't have to pay for the actual vehicle, given our limited budgets and resources available to us. So they are our partners in our service delivery to the community, and there has always been a commitment on the part of the CCRTA, and we have seen improvements made in senior transportation options. And I think today's press conference was really just drawing attention to all of the various initiatives that the CCRTA is working on, and we're very excited. I can speak for all of the COA directors on the Cape that we will have the opportunity to sit down and have a transportation summit that's really dedicated to looking at transportation issues for seniors in all of the towns on the Cape, not just in Barnstable. But one of the things that we talk about so much in the aging field now is the desire of people to age in place and community. And it was one of the strongest themes that emerged from our needs assessment, that the people that live in the town of Barnstable and in the 7 villages, it's very important for them to be able to stay in their homes for as long as they can. Unfortunately, when the time comes where seniors may not be able to drive themselves to get to the places that you need to go to, the grocery store, medical appointments, the bank, to be able to just sustain living independently, that's where we really need to step in as a community and make sure that people can remain in their homes for as long as possible, and transportation is a critical element to that.
To learn more about the Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority's efforts, you can visit capecodrta.org. Well, be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 8 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we will have our weekly arts and culture segment. We'll meet some great pets looking for forever homes. Plus, we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.